Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to grade 7 science class. Today the topic which we are going to discuss is transfer of heat. As you know, there are three ways of transferring heat from one place to another, in which first method which you have read is conduction. Second method is called convection, and the third method is, which we are going to discuss today, is radiation. So first we will define the radiation by a simple activity. To find out the answer of this question, that what is radiation, there is a picture in front of you. When we cook food under a grill, heat must travel downwards from the heating element, which is here mentioned with orange lining. So this heating element provides heat to the food, and this heat energy, which is mentioned with this purple shade or purple arrows, is moving downward to the food. This heat cannot be carried by conduction or even convection. Now first, why it does not carry with the help of convection? The reason for this is that convection carries hot air upward, while in this case you can see the heat is going downward to the food from the grill, which are present at the top. What about the conduction? Is food cooking due to conduction? No. It also not possible. Why? Heat cannot be conducted to the food because air is present all around and it is a bad conductor of heat. So air is not supporting the heat energy to pass through from the grill to the food. Now what is then the method for the transferring of heat in this grill where the food is cooking? So there must be another way of moving heat to the food from the grill. And what is this process? This process is called radiation. So we are not applying here the conduction as well as convection. Now we can define the process of radiation. So it is the method or way of transferring of heat or transmission of heat energy in the form of waves through space or vacuum. यानी रेडिएशन एक हीट को एक जगह से ट्रांसफ़र करने का मेथड है. ख़ास तौर पे ये एनर्जी किस शक्ल में ट्रांसफ़र होती है? इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वेव्स, लहरों की शक्ल में, जो हमें नज़र नहीं आती. और इनका मीडियम क्या है? कहाँ से ये ट्रांसफ़र होती हैं? थ्रू स्पेस और वैक्यूम. यानी स्पेस और वैक्यूम ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पर हवा मौजूद नहीं होती. बिकॉज एज वी नो एयर इज़ अ बैड कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट, सो एयर इज़ नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कंडक्टिंग हीट फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर. Therefore, the radiation requires a space or vacuum for the transferring of heat. Now I am going to tell you that what are waves, which waves are responsible in which or in the form of which heat energy is transferred. So these waves are called infrared waves. Infrared waves. Now what are these infrared waves? When the heat travels, or we know that heat energy or heat travels as small or tiny electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves. Waves are in the form of, you have seen the waves of sea, tides. जैसे समंदर की लहरें होती हैं, उनको हम वेव्स कहते हैं, लहरों का बनना. इसी तरीके से हीट भी एक ख़ास किस्म की लहरों की शक्ल में ट्रैवल करती हैं, जिसे इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स कहा जाता है. और इन्हीं इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स को हम इंफ्रारेड वेव्स कहते हैं, इंफ्रारेड वेव्स। जितना ऑब्जेक्ट आपका गर्म होता है, हॉटर होता है, उतनी ही इंफ्रारेड रेडिएशंस भी उसमें से ज़्यादा इमिट्स होती हैं, यानी रिलीज़ होती है। ये आपने पॉइंट याद रखना है कि हीट आपकी जो है हमेशा टाइनी इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स की शक्ल में एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ट्रैवल करती है, और इन इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स को इंफ्रारेड वेव्स कहा जाता है। जितना ऑब्जेक्ट हीटअप होगा, गर्म होगा, उतनी ही ज़्यादा इंफ्रारेड रेडिएशन उस ऑब्जेक्ट में से खारिज होंगी, रिलीज़ होंगी, या दूसरे वर्ड में इमिट होंगी। इमिट का मतलब होता है बाहर निकलना। एक्सप्लेन यू द प्रोसेस ऑफ रेडिएशन इन different way or by giving you example. So explanation of radiation. Basically, no particles are involved. As we know that the particles, that is atoms, ions, molecules, are not involved in the transferring of this type of process or heat energy method. So no particles are involved. So unlike in the processes of conduction and convection, radiation can even work through vacuum or space. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि कंडक्शन और कन्वेक्शन आपके ऐसे प्रोसेसेस हैं जिनमें मटेरियल मीडियम यानी आपको पार्टिकल्स की ज़रूरत होती है। कंडक्शन एंड कन्वेक्शन नीड और रिक्वायर particles. What are these particles? Particles are basically atoms or molecules. Atoms or molecules. But the radiation does not require any kind or any type of particles. Radiation को किसी particle medium की ज़रूरत नहीं होती. Why? Even radiation can work through vacuum. What is vacuum? It is basically the space. आपने सुना होगा कि खला में या स्पेस में अगर कोई चला जाए तो वहाँ पर एयर मौजूद नहीं होती, एयर इज़ एब्सेंट। तो ऐसी जगह जहाँ पर हवा मौजूद ना हो उसे वैक्यूम या स्पेस कहा जाता है। और रेडिएशन का अमल सबसे बेस्ट जो है वो कहाँ होता है? वैक्यूम और स्पेस में, जहाँ से हीट एनर्जी एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ट्रांसफ़र होती है। To understand the concept of radiation through vacuum, I am here drawing another picture in front of you of the sun and earth. Now what happens? Normally it is seen that sun is the star having different gases in it. So it is a hot star, and the radiation or the heat coming toward the earth, again in the form of not only the heat but also the light from the sun, reaches earth again in the form of electromagnetic waves. What is this radiation or waves called? Electromagnetic waves. हमारी ज़मीन तक सूरज की जो रोशनी या हीट पहुंचती है वो किस शक्ल में पहुंचती है? इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स की शक्ल में। एंड दिस इज़ ड्यू टू radiation. So which carrier, which thing is responsible for providing the radiation of the sun up to the earth? So it is radiation, the process of radiation. So this electromagnetic radiation or waves are too much far away from the earth. That is, this is the distance of sun and earth, which is about 150 million kilometer away from our earth. So you can think that how much far distance is it, and it is the blessing of Allah that we are having light as well as heat energy from the sun from this much far distance. Cleared? In this topic we are going to discuss emitters and absorbers as well. Now, what are emitters and absorbers? Emitters and absorbers can be defined as that some surfaces are better at emitting or giving off or releasing thermal radiation than the others. And good emitters of radiation are also good absorbers. Now consider we have two different types of surfaces. One is the black or dark surface. Black or dark surface, and on the other hand white or silvery surfaces. Silvery surfaces. Example of white or silvery surface can be this board, this white board. Black or dark surfaces are normally the good emitters as well as good absorbers, while white or silvery surface are poor absorbers. Why? Because black or dark surface absorb light or heat energy, absorb heat in this way, while white or silvery surface normally reflect heat. So that is why in hot sunny countries houses are often painted white to keep them cool inside. Therefore we can say that in hot countries like even Pakistan, the houses are painted white. ज़्यादातर जो गर्म ममालिक होते हैं जहाँ गर्मियाँ ज़्यादा पड़ती हैं, घरों में वाइट पेंट किया जाता है. रीज़न क्या होता है उसका वाइट पेंट का? क्योंकि वाइट सरफेस क्या करती है, वाइट सरफेस या वाइट पेंट की मदद से हीट एनर्जी जो कि घर पर पड़ती है उसको रिफ्लेक्ट किया जाता है. रिफ्लेक्ट का क्या मतलब है कि जैसे ही हीट एनर्जी आपके घर की वॉल पे पड़ेगी, सन की या किसी भी हीट एनर्जी को आप कह रहे हैं, पड़ने के बाद ये एब्जॉर्ब नहीं होगी कि आपके घर के अंदर दाखिल नहीं होगी, आपके हाउस में नहीं होगी, बल्कि क्या होगी, ये हीट एनर्जी पड़ने के बाद दीवार से वापस पलट जाएगी, वापस मुड़ जाएगी. So this is called reflection. And what is basically reflection process is when light or heat energy strike to any surface and this surface is white, then it reflects back. It returns back in any direction. So this is normally given the word reflection, and reflect heat normally refers to the white or silvery surface. But in case of if the house is painted black, अगर हाउस को आपने किससे पेंट किया हुआ है, आपने कौन सा पेंट किया हुआ है, इसको पूरा आपने ब्लैक किया हुआ है, आउटसाइड एंड इनसाइड इवन. सो व्हाट हैपन्स टू द हाउस, क्या होगा, क्या फ़र्क पड़ेगा? सो व्हेन हीट एनर्जी रीचेस टू द हाउस, what happens, it will get absorbed inside the house and the house warms up, और warms की जगह आप heats up भी कह सकते हैं. So house heats up, which indicates that during summer these sort of houses are warmed while white houses remain cold. So this is the clear difference कि गर्मियों में अगर आप घरों में ब्लैक पेंट करवाएंगे तो आपका घर जो है वो गर्म रहेगा, और गर्मियों में वाइट पेंट आप करवाएंगे तो हीट एनर्जी चूँकि उसमें एब्जॉर्ब नहीं होगी वाइट सरफेस में, लिहाजा आपका घर कोल्ड रहेगा. सो विच पेंट will you prefer during hot summer season? So obviously it is white, because white is the good reflector of heat while the black is good absorber of heat. In this manner we can conclude that black or dark surfaces are good emitters and absorbers of heat energy. Emitters and absorbers can be best understood by the given examples. For example, here I am taking example from comparing the emitters to the absorber. So first activity regarding this is, then we have to take first two containers, two cans, Suppose these are two cans containing water in it, containing equal amount of water in it. Suppose I have taken some amount of water in both the containers or cans. Now, I have inserted an instrument called thermometer where the temperature is 45 degrees Celsius. While on the other side, again I am taking the thermometer on which the reading of the scale or temperature scale is again 45 degrees Celsius. Now suppose this is your can A and this is your can B. So basic difference between both, that the can A has dark or black surface on it. So I have made some shades over it. While on the other hand, the can B has shiny, bright or white surface. So I am writing their surfaces as well, dull or dark. You can also write dark surface. On the other side you have shiny surface on can B. So two metal cans are filled with the same amount of water at the same temperature. Can A has dark surface while can B has shiny surface. Now what will be the result after some time? In can A, the water cools down very quickly as compared to the can B, in which water remains hot. So it clearly indicates you that a dark surface is a better emitter of thermal radiation, that is heat energy, than a shiny surface. And what are emitters? Emitters means those substances or those surfaces that release heat energy. That emitter mean emit. Emit means release thermal radiation or heat energy. So in can A we can clearly observe that why the temperature is decreasing down. What is the reason? Temperature is now decreasing up to 25 degrees Celsius as compared to the can B, because in can A the dark surface actually releases heat energy, that it does not allow to get heat energy inside the container or in the water. That is why the can A cools down very quickly. While on the other hand, can B does not cool down quickly, so it will remain hot. It will remain warm. So this is the simple activity by which you can observe that what are emitters and what are the basic difference between the dark surfaces and shiny surfaces. Now we are going to compare the absorbers having first of all dark surfaces and second one is the shiny surface. For this purpose I am taking two plates or two metal plates. One having dark surface and the other one having shiny or bright surface. So this is the dark one, dark surface, so I am making shades in it. While on the other hand, this plate is shiny or having white surface. So what happens? One shiny and one dark have thermometers attached to their back sides. Now I am attaching the thermometer on their back. So suppose this is the back side of the thermometer or the upper part of the thermometer, which are placed behind these plates. Okay. Now plates are fixed at the same distance from a radiant heater. So what is the placement? What is present between both plates? It is a radiant heater, which is actually responsible for providing heat to both plates. So it is present at the equal distance from both plates. And what is it? It is a radiant heater. That is source of heat for the both plates. Now as you can see that both plates are at the same distance from the heater. So what happens to them? The dark surface in this case absorbs. Now it is absorbing heat energy more quickly than the shiny surface, which clearly indicates you that dark surface are better absorber. They are the good absorbers because the black or dark surface can absorb heat very well as compared to the shiny surface, which are the reflector of heat, which reflect heat. So here we can conclude by watching and by seeing and by observing both activities of comparing emitters and comparing absorbers, that dark or black surfaces are good absorbers as well as good emitters as compared to the shiny surfaces. Radiation can be also explained with the help of this figure, which shows that some buildings have solar panels on their roof. These solar panels use thermal radiation, that is heat energy from the sun reaching up to them, and normally used to warm up the water, heat the water which is coming through this pump. Now the blackened layer which is present down there, it actually absorbs the radiant energy coming from the sun and warms up the water which is flowing through these pipes and reaches up to the storage tank for warm water. So in this way the whole panel supplies hot water to houses, which normally we use for different purposes, especially during winter. So this is the simple phenomena or example of radiation in the form of solar panels. Solar panels.